So in this video, I'm going to show you common modeling traps you must avoid when you take CSWP SolidWorks exam. So passing the CSWP exam is not about knowing more SolidWorks tools, okay? Because most people who fail, they don't fail because they can't model the part. They fail because their model can't survive changes. So CSWP is designed to expose weak modeling decisions under the time pressure. And here we're going to list the most common traps that cost candidates points, even when the geometry itself look correct. So the first trap is modeling for the first results only. And this is the biggest mistake because most candidates, they build model so it matches the initial dimensions, but they don't think about what will change later. So in the CSWP, dimensions change, features get modified, geometry is reused. So if your model only works for the first state, it's very fragile. So how you can avoid that? Always assume the model will change, okay? Then ask yourself, what happens if this dimension doubles? Will my model break or not? Then also build sketches and features that anticipate variations. So this is the trap number one. Trap number two, weak sketch references. So sketches are where most CSWP models fail. The common problems are sketches referenced to random edges, there are no relations, missing relations, and overdefined fixes instead of fixing design intent. So how you can avoid these things? You can reference to primary planes, right? To your original planes of your part document and origins whenever that's possible. Then fully define sketches using design intent, right? So what that means, like if something is parallel, make it parallel. If something is perpendicular or has the same length, right? So define these relations. Then also avoid referencing geometry that is likely to change. So if sketch is unstable, everything downstream will be unstable as well, and you will get wrong answers. So this is trap number two. Trap number three, poor feature order. So the feature order matters more in CSWP than in casual modeling because the bad feature order causes rebuild errors, make modifications slower, and forces you also to fix problems on the middle of the exam. So how you can avoid these things? You can build from base geometry outward, then delay dependent features that one depends on another. So what I mean by that, like you have one extrude, don't extrude on that one. Go to the reference plane, the main plane. Then keep the feature tree simple and logical. So you can make modifications very, very fast and simple. So this is trap number three. Trap number four, overcomplicating the model. Okay, so CSWP does not reward complexity. Extra features, unnecessary sketches, and clever tricks often backfire. So the complex models, they take longer to modify them, they break more easily, and they increase mental load during the exam. Now, how you can avoid these things? Use the simplest feature that does the job, right? You don't have to use some complicated feature. Usually will be extrude boss base, revolve, or any of these two features. Then reduce sketch count where possible, okay? Don't create a lot of sketches. Don't create a lot of sketches if there is no necessary for that. And also avoid over-engineering. That's why it's very important that already in your head, before you start in SolidWorks, you have a plan. So this is the trap number four, overcomplicating the model. Trap number five, ignoring design intent. Now, design intent is not some buzzword in CSWP, that's actually exam, right? How dimensions, how model will change if I change one dimension or feature. So if your model doesn't clearly express what controls the shape, what should stay fixed, and what is allowed to change, then modification becomes guesswork. So you must know what will change, right? You must know what are the main dimensions. So how you can avoid that? Define which dimensions drive the model. That's the first thing. Then keep critical geometry control by intent, not manual edits. And then build with future steps in mind. That's why you must know what's the main dimension and what is not main dimension. So if design intent is clear, changes become mechanical instead of stressful. So this is trap number 5. Trap number 6, practicing without modifications. So one of the mistakes is that candidates practice by building parts once, checking mass dimensions, and then moving on. Because in reality, CSWP problems always include changes, dimension updates, feature edits, configuration-like behavior. So how you can avoid this? Always practice with modifications, right? Modify as much as you can so the model doesn't break. Rebuild the same model multiple times with different values. And also time yourself during changes, not just modeling, okay? Because CSWP tests you how you handle changes, not how fast you click. So this is trap number 6. Trap number 7, letting errors snowball under time pressure. Because one small mistake early can cascade broken references, suppressed features, confusing error messages. And under time pressure, this causes panic. So how to avoid that? Stop immediately when something breaks, okay? Because like if you don't fix that, later nothing will be correct. So fix the root cause, not the symptom. Keep models clean so errors are easy to trace. So make them clean. If there is an error, you can easily detect and fix that. Because stable model keeps your mind calm during the exam. Because here's the truth, CSWP is not modeling exam. It's a planning and robustness exam. That's why the winning strategy is clear intent, simple structure, change resilient decisions. And this way, your exam becomes predictable. The common trap, if you model reactively, then it becomes stressful. And here's my final advice. Before you submit any model, like answers, ask yourself, can this model survive changes? Are my sketches stable? Is my feature tree logical? Would I be comfortable modifying this under time pressure? And if the answer is yes, you're thinking the CSWP way. If the answer is no, you have to practice more. Now, if you want the full preparation for a CSWP walkthrough exam, and then also explaining all the tools that you need, you can check out on the link below and you can access my full course for the CSWP certification exam. See you in another video.